Hello everyone, this is Maffuman coming at you with a Starcraft Star Battle. It's a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game. We have between Snow Shark, the frigate, Montour, the battlecruiser, Rofalos, the destroyer, Barcode? Okay, he just says a barcode player. I'm just gonna call him like Nuclear Core, and Ghetto SC, Nuclear Core warped in as a Leviathan. And we got Rub-a-Dub-Dub, the Colossus, Arbiter from FOD. Starting off with Feedback, we got a Carrier from Big Long Ding. Yeah, Big Long Ding is a Carrier. Handuk is a Overlord who started off with just a farming build. He actually started off without any abilities. That's not necessarily normal. Ooh, no, it's also not necessarily normal. Little Caesar's being taken out. Cheesy bread. In the very beginning, he's getting chased. FOD could heal him, but he doesn't want to because he wants to save up for feedback. You can either save his buddy or save up for feedback, and you know what he's choosing? Not his friend. Teaching Little Caesar a little bit of a lesson in not overextending. So we kind of have a weird lineup over here. We got the 3 red ships over here who are chasing down the Little Caesars, but they couldn't quite get them. And then we had the 3 over there who were just trying to farm. Nuclear Core starting off with missiles. Okay. He is not moving, and he has 1.4 speed. He went and said missiles are cool, but you should start, moving your ship. You always want to make sure you do. Speed's important, and it's also important because momentum is important. Sometimes it's not how fast you're going; it's how fast you can go fast. And right now at 1.4 speed, he's certainly not. He did start off with infield upgrades though, which is good. So I mean, he can fix this whole getting it up issue by farming. Rub-a-Dub-Dub, the Colossus, moving in. He started off with the shield build. Went for 5 shield upgrades. So, in the very beginning, usually the thing that you want to be good, you can just put 5 upgrades into it. Works out mathematically to 225, which is as much money as you start off with. If you get 5 upgrades, and then, a speed. Because you do want to get 1 speed. Come on, right? You don't want to start off and stay at 1.4 speed. You'd be a slow little buddy. Yoda did that with his Gatling cannon because dreadnoughts and Gatling cannons are like peanut butter and jelly. But he sacrificed having an armor because he didn't expect to be taken out in the very beginning. He could get healed. Do you decide to save your buddy? He does. At 16 health. Whoa! Rofalos almost taking out a Yoda in the very beginning of the game. He had explosive charge. That's probably what was doing some damage. Blue side being pushed back into their base. Handuk is he's not hurt. He's just in the wrong place. He was farming with his Mutalisks because Overlords are the only support ship that has interceptors, right? Mutalisks. And the interceptors are not bad. They're not carrier interceptors, but they can be upgraded to shoot out all in one. Usually what happens is there's kind of a cute little conga line. But the conga line, it takes about 3 shots maybe to kill them. If you can stack them all into one place, you're only maybe killing 1. If they have a little conga line, you have enough time to kill 2 or 3 by the time they even get to you. See? Cute little conga line. And they're basically dead. Nuclear Core, yeah, you better be. But you only got the 1.4 speed. Come on. He's got the health, but nobody can heal him because he's a Leviathan. Leviathan Zerg ships have some really good abilities, but they do lack in ability to heal or be healed, I suppose. Nuclear Core pushing back. Yoda's 5 upgraded Gatling cannons doing 55 damage each. We got Nuclear Core slowly dying because he is slow. Oh, we got a Yamato from Mantua. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a little Frenchness every time I see him. But it probably is gonna sound horrible. So that's just that. Let's see. Handuk, a little bit out of position. He does finally have enough money for a cool ability. He chose Plague. Plague's usually something that people start off with, but you don't have to. He got the money. He's building up the farm. He now has energy to support it. Some people start off with an ability and don't have the energy to really support it, and they kind of just hope that they can get good. Fusion Torpedo, if it hits, it could take out, oh, swing and a miss. It would have taken out Yoda, but he saw the red beam of death, and he said, whoa, move myself. A little bit back. Does 6,000 damage, and he only had like 4,000 health, so, you know, deadness. He went for Fusion Torpedo very early, like within 6 minutes. He went for the, I always call them the ultimate abilities, and I think that's a little bit of a misnomer. They're not the ultimate in the sense that they're the best ability. They're the ultimate in the sense that they're the most expensive. And they're the most expensive because they're really good. Contradicting myself. But not really, because it's a skill shot. It could be really good if you do it. There are other abilities that can do high amounts of damage, or, you know, anything else. But when you spend $400 on the Fusion Torpedo, you don't spend it on other things. His lasers aren't so good. His speed's good, actually. He upgraded his speed before. His missiles are not great. They're fine. They're upgraded. They're just not, you know, they're not. They're lacking 400 money that he could have put into that, because he went for the nuke. And you know what? If he had hit Yoda, Yoda would have been out. So that would have been totally worth it. It's a skill shot. Carrier trying to farm. Does he have anything so far? No, he just has his interceptors. Carriers very often have to kind of like wait and try to get money with their interceptors. He probably does. He has 866 monies. Oh, Handuk, get back. Oh, red beam of death, Handuk. Whoa, jukes it. He has to run back into the loving arms of Rofalos, who wants to just machine gun him down. But you know, he's not dead. Like otherwise he would have taken a nuke to the face, and that's probably not going to be a good look for him. Let's see. Ghetto SC went for Fusion Torpedo. We have 2 Fusion Torpedoes. You got double red beam of death. Rofalos just went for the explosive charge. So both frigates went for the red beam of death. Let's see. Battlecruiser went for a more sensible Yamato cannon. He could go for nuke as well, but there's a little bit of a difference. So with both the ultimate abilities, the most expensive abilities, oh, they're very susceptible to feedback. Rofalos just trying to push forward. Because he bought explosive charge, he forgot to buy any armor. And that happens. I'm not sure why people forget that you can buy armor afterwards, but every time that I see somebody opening up explosive charge, they just are usually low armor destroyers. He could upgrade it more. He probably will. Yoda getting pushed. He has at least 1 armor. So he has his 5. Uh-oh. Mantua possibly being taken out. He is getting machine gunned, but Yoda had to be healed. He didn't have enough armor to like keep on taking damage. We have a Plague. Now Plague, in the description, it says that it won't take the last bit of life, which might be accurate. That's great. However, this isn't like Star Battle, the Starcraft regular, where once you get where you can just walk around with 1 health. You can walk around with 1 health, then you die because you burn down in this game after you get under 25% life. So it's kind of like Batman in the new DC, where he's not technically killing them, but he's like severely incapacitating them. Yeah, technically Plague didn't kill him, but you know, the fall did. The burning down regularly did. Let's see. Barcode with his 14 interceptors and Warpin. He just went for an interceptor build. Warpin, it helps you not be very attached to your interceptors' lives. He's shooting them out of Handuk to push them back, but he doesn't care if they come back to him. He can just warp in more. He has enough energy to support it. a lot of carrier abilities are energy intensive. And 300 energy is actually not very much for in a carrier, but it is certainly enough if you have one upgrade at 125. Let's see. And he doesn't use it yet, because you do slowly build up your interceptors. He's back up to 10, 11, 12. Nope, not yet. 12, there we go. Or if they're all dead, you can just warp them in. Rub-a-dub-dub. Having not very much fun in the tub with Rofalos, who only has lasers, so he did get an armor. Oh, there's a Red Beam of Death that hits Rub-a-dub-dub. He was getting shielded, which is good to stay alive. Little Caesars will survive. Hot but not ready to die yet. He's using his missiles. He was using his 1.71 speed to try to run away. Rofalo is turning on his protective field to tank an extra 50 armor, essentially. You just tack that on your base armor stats, so 12 plus 50. Handuk. He has Contaminate. Now that's a good underused ability. I love Contaminate, and people forget that it exists. Contaminate. He used Plague, right? You're taking down the damage with them. But look what he saw. He saw 1, 2, 3 missile boats. And Rofalos, who, is using, well, he doesn't have very much Gatling, but, still. So he went for Contaminate. Contaminate slows down all enemy units in the target area, reducing their attack speed by 50%. Affected units will also take small damage over time, just for funsies, and it lasts 20 seconds. So, missiles. Look at that damage. 102 times 7, or 81 times 9. They both shoot at 4 speed, so if it's reduced by 50%, it's slower. I'm not going to do math on air. I record these all in one shot, and we're not going to struggle to figure out how much that is. No calculators, kids. So they have to retreat. But look at this. So, Yamato Cannon was upgraded by Mantua. Who is our lovely Frenchman, unless he's like Quebec, French-Canadian, then I'm not sure, but he might be. Anyway, he went for a Yamato Cannon. It's a nice reasonable ability. It costs 125 energy. It is I think only 175, not 400. So he has more money to put into missiles and attack fighters for no reason, and laser battery for farming. Where the Ghetto and the Shadow Shark, they kind of are they're a one-trick pony. They got their nuke, and that's about all. Zero lasers. There we go. Upgrading a little bit just to stay on par with two-shot farming. And his missiles are now getting re-uploaded or upgraded. Same thing over here. Kind of retroactively having to say, okay, well, I got my cool ability, but now I have to remember to not be poor. Rofalos pushing the entire team back. The red side didn't want them the blue side to farm at their base, but you're probably not going to kill somebody if you take them on. They're just going to retreat a little bit quicker. Sometimes it is helpful to kind of chill. And see right there, we got some Contaminate. So now he's shooting at every 8 seconds. So it's slow. It's basically wasting an entire attack. So Rub-a-dub-dub can easily get out of that tub over here. He's got a 1.61 speed, so he's slow, but he's got some energy, and he had 10,000 shield life, which could be healed by FOD if he wants to. FOD went for the feedback and kind of stated that. He went for energy. He has lots of energy. He might have Kadarin Core. I'm not entirely sure. There's only certain ones that you can see when you're clicking on units as the caster. When you're clicking on units in game, you see nothing. You see just their these guys, the beefiness upgrades. You don't see any of the fancy stuff over here. So you have to kind of just guess. But there are some core upgrade abilities that you don't see. We can assume that Rub-a-dub-dub has the Colossus ability where it helps you recharge shields while you're taking damage, but it doesn't tell you that on the side anywhere. It should, but it don't. It's just one of those. It's so good we assume that you get it. Ruffalo's went for the ability where you get extra hull health, and Yoda has not just yet. Blue side pushing them back. Whoa, come on. Look at these frigates. They're like, hey, they're all in a little area. So 2, Red Beam of Death, number 1. Boom. Oh, return the favorite Little Caesar Red Beam of Death hits both of the frigates, and there's a Red Beam of Death over here, and it's a swing and a miss from Ghetto. Rub-a-dub-dub trying to defend. We have Handuk being hit and attacked. He gets feedback. Rofalos is pushing, but he only has lasers, so his little Gatling cannon is only doing 40. If he had upgraded Gatling cannon like Yoda did, he probably would have been taken out. Oh, 60s, 59, 50s. Will he make it back? Move your little 1.82 speed. He's using Chrono Boost to get him out there. He's at the 30s. 70, 50. Oh, come on, move. Ah, and he survived with like 2 health, with 6 health. Ooh. Now the entire blue team is hurt, but the mothership can only heal 2 people at a time, and it chooses to heal the 2 people who need it the most. So whoever's the most damage gets the most healing. So sometimes it was healing one person, then it healed another person. Then it kind of goes back. Sometimes you're like mostly healed, and then somebody else comes in who's like needs it more, and you're like, fine, or wait. Interceptors at 19. So they're past 13 upgrades, and after 13, the interceptors have enough health to survive 125. So because the thermal lance does 125 to regular units, and then the extra 1075 to massive. So after 13 upgrades on your interceptors, then they can survive a thermal lance. Not very well. I mean, they're still going to be hurt, but they're not like dead. Survived, but kind of like surviving after a breakup. You're like, I'm alive, just not emotionally. You know what I mean? And his interceptor and his tempests are wimpy. He's sort of. There's no reason why he's. There's no reason why he really went the Tempest, except Tempests are just a good ability for carriers to get. Rofalos setting up for a warp. Let's see if anybody actually joins him. Oh, we got 1 person coming to the party. Barcode being Plague, so he's probably not going to come to the party for a little bit. But this is where you want to be. It's easy to think, oh, I should be over here because the team's over here. You want to get over here so you can get behind them or really close. You want to give them very few options to escape. But with this, carriers are not very good at warp tricks. If they spawn Tempest, the Tempest will probably just derp back to base because they don't control where they move, just that you create them. Let's see, we got the 2 people ready with upgraded missiles and their Red Beam of Death, the Fusion Torpedo. Red Beam of Death, swing and a miss from Ghetto. Forgot to wear his glasses that day or something. We have Rufalos having just laser battery. Where your Gatling gun? Oh, there's the there's the fusion torpedo did hit the team, but it also was kind of a betrayal fusion torpedo. Rub-a-dub-dub hit. We got a kind of Shadow Shock doing the same thing. Fusion torpedo does damage in an area, no matter who's in the area to do damage to. So 2 out on the blue side after that, and 1 out on the red side after that. Big Long Ding, using his interceptors to try to push them. He used Plasma Surge to heal them in flight as well, so he can create more and he can heal them while they're still alive. Handuk moving back to base. He's even gonna get a little Chrono Boost. He probably was gonna make it anyway. Oh, unless he turns for try to heal. It's always tempting once you get in this little area to like turn around and like heal, but at 4,000 health, you are kind of in danger. These missiles are doing 116 times 7, and 130 times 9. So pretty much 1,000 each shot. Now it is every 4 seconds, so it's not like he's like gonna get one-shotted, but he might get like 4-shotted. Know what I mean? So we got blue side kind of recovering. The fusion torpedo is on cooldown. Oh, Handuk went for the Hadouken, the side blast, and he upgraded it quite a bunch. It does 2775 plus 250 to bio and shields, minus 250 to mech. So it does more damage when you have shields than it does when you don't have shields. Or it just does more damage if you're a Leviathan, but they ain't got a Leviathan right now. And that's where he was like kind of saving up more. He has good mutalisks to farm. He has energy blast, his little lasers, but the range can't be upgraded. Actually, the range can't be upgraded on the energy blast or the bio discharge. So the mutalisks have 19 range, but his base attacks don't. Oh, red beam of death, swing and a miss. Would have gotten all 3 of them. Really done some damage. I mean, they're all at about 6,000 health, so like dead or burning are your 2 options here. Handuk wanted to go for the Hadouken, but the Tempest kind of like went around the rocks. Really good placement. They could have went that way, but they ended up going this way, which is the way you wanted. You don't control them. They're kind of independent in that sense. Kind of like, let's see, Montour. He has defensive shield and he does have nuke now. So he could go for a nuclear missile as well. It's gonna be it's the $400 ability. Does somewhat. It's the old school. The battlecruiser is one of the first ships that ever came out in this game. The frigate is a later addition. Nuclear missile, and this is 6,000 damage. It chases them for 15 seconds. It also puts them in a blackout, so if they're mechanical, so they're kind of like shut down for a little bit. Where this does 6,000 damage in a line, but it doesn't have that the after effects. They added the after effects to kind of balance out nuke as like a don't forget about me. I'm still cool, I'm the old school cool. Let's see, Ruffalo's. He went for the explosive charge. That is a new ability. He has 450 in both of his 2 abilities. 3 abilities cost 50 each. So, whoa. Red Beam of Death, get OSC, swing and a miss. Let's see. Probably play like a drinking game of every time that get OSC swings and misses his, his fusion torpedo, Red Beam of Death. We could say it's strategy. Yeah, sure, it's strategy. It's a fear weapon, I meant to miss, obviously. You missed me with that. Magnetic mines? Oh, we got mines coming out from Little Caesar. He wants to be sneaky. The mines can add up. There's actually no detect. There's no detect on the red side right now. So they can't see these mines. And I'm not sure if they know about them because they look relatively new. So that could get into play if they let these mines build up, and catch them off balance. Another thing that could detect is Montour, who doesn't have scan. Most people won't just get it unless there's like a need to. It is actually relatively helpful. It's not really good for the thing that it's designed for. It's really not that good at detect, but it does show you positions of the enemies. So if you're in doubt about where they are, FOD might be taken out. No, whoa, FOD has 600, 300. Will he make it back? Interceptors are maybe saving him. He will make it back. But the interceptors from Barcode are fantastic and doing a lot of damage. Still, what's it called? They 84 plus 84, so they are still being taken out. No, they're not actually. They get two-shotted by the photon cannon defense structure here. It does 200 versus massive, but only 100 versus interceptors and small ships. Big long ding, coming in. Sometimes when you see a carrier moving in by itself, you're thinking it probably has vortex. He doesn't, but maybe that was a kind of just pushing them scare tactic. Yeah, they're actually not. The red team is kind of cautiously waiting to see where they are, hoping that there isn't a warp trick or something like that. Whoa, Ghetto SC being hit with a Kamehameha Blast and a Red Gak, the Plague. He does have to move back. Weirdly, when you are burning in this game, which he will, yes, thank you. He got to heavily damaged. So after the Plague gets away, come on, no more Plague. Okay. When you're burning, you burn shields until you get to the life. Doesn't really make very much sense physics-wise, but that's cool. So Handuk really has like ability to do damage in to the ships. In his Psy Blast, he has ability to burn them on the inside with Plague, and his ability to slow them down. But he doesn't. But he is susceptible to interceptors. Look at these interceptors. Well, we got an FOD who's using a what's it called? Electromagnetic storm to try to save his buddy. Will that be enough? I mean, yes, he is running away. He's running away for a good reason. These interceptors are doing 64 damage each. So now the tables are slightly turned. We have a carrier on carrier, like throwing your stuff at people fight, and that is what has to happen. After a certain point with interceptors, they just get monstrous, and lasers are good, but not going to save you. You do need them though, so make sure you do that. But that's where he upgraded missile pods. 125 plus 475 to massive. The 125 is just there for attacking the interceptors, who on the big long ding side have 14.5 armor, 98 plus 98. So the missile doesn't actually even kill them. It just does enough damage for the lasers to finish them off. Oh, red beam of death. Woo! Just barely missed. Rofalos over there. Barcode's Tempests are pushing back, and he's using his interceptors to stop the other guy's interceptors. Tempest can only attack massive ships and structures, so they can't attack the interceptors. The interceptors just wreck their day. A red beam of death from Ghetto. All right, hope you guys all took your shot because he missed his. Let's see. We got. This is strategy, I promise. We got two types of interceptors, or the Tempest, the actual Tempest from Barcode, which he created, and the Sky Furies, which was just like the house-created one. Montour, use your defensive shield, buddy. He has enough energy to do it because it doesn't activate just yet. He is using his missiles to try to take out the there we go, the interceptors, and is using his defensive shield to give you a boost of health. It gives the extra 2,800 life. It just lasts for a little while on this area, or until it until you take that much damage. The tower was able to be taken out. Combination of the Tempest, Rofalos staying on it. Just hey, he's a tank. He actually upgraded what's it called? I forget what it's called. Cover. It says right there. Where it does extra damage. Little Caesars is taken out, hot and ready to die. We got Rofalos moving in. His Gatling cannon isn't very high, but his armor is, so he can just stay on it and keep on doing damage. But Cover basically targets any missiles in the area towards him, so he is the tank, and he's going to be the tank. You know what that does? It saves people like Ghetto and Montour and Snow Shark from having to be anything but damage dealers, not damage takers, and that's fantastic. It's synergy. Little self-sacrifice. And he also has Bombardment, which is it does a lot of damage, 200 plus 2300 to massive, but it channels you for 5 seconds, which is a lot of time in this. Handuk only has 2,000 life. Oh, and he is not taken out because that was a Phantom. Whoa, surprise! So Phantoms look like the ships and act like the ships, but they don't do any damage. But unless you can, but you can't really tell that they are Phantoms unless you notice that they're not doing enough damage. Whoa, Ghetto SC getting what's it called, Kamehameha and plagued again, and he has to retreat. Let's see. Might burn down. Oh, he's gonna get into the burning at least, but it won't be an eternal frame because he has to. He can actually back up. He's using his interceptors. He knows he has to get back. He doesn't have to get back like immediately, so he's using his wraiths, which I don't think have cloak. They could have cloak. Cloak's kind of neat. Always helpful. So a couple ships are really good interceptor-wise. Obviously, carriers. We're seeing a lot of interceptors right here. Other ships have interceptors, but they're not great. So the battlecruiser has them, not great. Rofalos has griffins, not great. Wraiths can be good because they can cloak. You can upgrade that, cost 125. I'd say do it because it helps the little conga line of interceptors won't get shot down because they won't be seen until they attack. So as soon as they attack, then of course they will be shot, but they won't be taken out before they're killed. So you kind of guarantee a little bit extra damage. Helps your interceptors, which are your wraiths, which are nowhere anywhere close to a as much money as Big Long Ding has actually upgraded his 31 interceptors. I mean, but it does make them more viable later on with a lot less money cost. Every time that you upgrade something, it increases in price. So let's see, you buy. A lot of people start off with what's it called, 225 money, and then you upgrade 5 of something that you love, because it goes 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. You can get to 45. We got Ghetto SC a swing and a miss, and it was on a Phantom too. So he almost killed something. Look at this. Montour, good job, buddy. You got nothing. You get nothing because it's a Phantom. FOD, that is also a Phantom. They don't know. They don't know. There's no way of knowing for them unless Montour upgrades, what's it called? The scanner, and he doesn't have it. So they're kind of just maybe just angrily shooting at everything that moves with the hope that it works. Oh, we got the torpedo hitting what is just a Phantom. We got. Oh, don't say that to yourself, buddy. You tried your best. Your best just wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Rofalos using his defensive shield. He actually got he got an energy. He got siphoned. He has 550 energy, which is a fantastic amount. Ghetto SC burning down, and he gets burned down by Handuk. Is there going to be a return the favor from Rofalos? No, he doesn't have enough health to support being shot at by the mothership, so he doesn't want to do that. He wants to just maybe focus on angrily killing this warp prism. So now there's only one warp prism from them for the blue side, but only one frigate left. Handuk going for the Hadouken, using Plague. The red side has to back up. It's a 4 versus 3. Looking at the rolls, I mean, we got like one missile boat, one person who's also another high damage, missile shooter. We got Barcode, who is a carrier and to kind of do damage at a distance, and a tank versus the blue side, which has a high amount of damage, low amount of high burst damage, low sustained damage. Kind of, I guess they classify him as a support ship, but it's like kind of like the Abathur hat. It's mostly just there for damage. It's not really support. We got FOD, who is a very tricky looking actual support ship with actual healing. He only has one person who can actually heal, and that's Big Long Ding. So if you're healing a carrier, it's bad news bears. So he's trying to use his phantoms for scouting, for distraction. Handuk, what's it called? Has 650 energy, so he can very easily support Psyblast, which is upgrades to 3215 base damage plus 250 minus 250. Doesn't matter. 3215 is a lot of damage there. Oh, he used Contaminate on the Interceptors, so the Interceptors. That one might not have been contaminated. It might have wore off by the time I looked, but it does also slow down their attack. Oh no, he's Plague on them. Plague on the Interceptors, so they're only shields 102 instead of 102 plus 102. Ruffalo's getting a little bit out there. He's trying to push them back, but there's just so many, and there's so many that he doesn't know are real or not. Oh. The torpedo is canceled because of feedback, and there's there's a vortex on the field, which the destroyer is in right now. Now they maybe won't be able to kill him, but they certainly did take him out of commission for a little bit. If you look at the map, he's saying dots are phantoms. So if you look at the mini map, on the little dots instead of the little outlines of the ship, you can tell that those are phantoms. So you have to kind of like look, verify. Another way of checking is to see if they're killing anything. Another third way is maybe if they're playing poorly, but that's not the best way of knowing. There's many ways to know if he really loves you, but if they're playing poorly, that's not necessarily the best way. Montour using those missiles, missile pods to kind of farm, do extra damage. Rofalos, you have 36 armor, so you're still susceptible to the 76 damage that Interceptors do, unless you're wearing your protective field to do extra 50. 36 plus 50 is more than 76. Not by much, but a little bit. So these Interceptors are at 76. He's upgraded them 32 times, so you know how like we were talking about the increasing in price every time you upgrade? Yeah, however you get to from 25, increasing 5 every time, going from 0 to 32, he has that much. So he spent a lot of money on his Interceptors, and they're on par with the Interceptors from Barcode. Barcode went for Tempests, and the difference of over here is that he went for Vortex. Vortex can disable and stop an incoming attack by holding onto the guy. FOD, that actually was FOD, the real one. And I think they do know that. Oh no, he used his he shot his Yamato at the fake. Oh, and there's a brilliantly placed fusion torpedo which hit a Phantom. It would have actually done a lot of damage to the other team, and no, he doesn't get into the vortex. I think he was going for one though, and you can never really tell. Handuk getting healed. Now the red side does have a ship advantage, and they're pushing them into their base, so they have the financial advantage by about 1,000 right now. But that doesn't matter if you get caught off guard with a vortex, and then you mistakenly shoot down a bunch of Phantoms, and then you get feedbacked. So the red side is kind of saying at this point, these people are scary, and we might not be able to take them out, but we probably should focus on the base. you can also just try to take out the mothership. Because the 2 towers were taken out, the repulsor cannon is disabled. It does less damage now than it was, and it's disabled. And the repulsor cannon shoots off the little interceptors, like actual interceptors over here, or like the little farm ships. So that pretty much so then you're relying on your farm ships to push back theirs, and you usually will find yourself in the base a lot more. It also reduces how much damage the purifier beam does. I'm not going to click it over there, but but the base one does 200 at 20 range. Now it's only doing 20 at 8 range. Oh, and there's a vortex catching Rofalos. The battlecruiser might go down because he has his missiles and he might burn down. The interceptors will possibly take him out. Oh, and he does. Montour was taken out. And the Rofalos is all by himself. He's trying to attack FOD, but that's a Phantom. So he's trying to just get on out of there. It would be lovely if that was a kill, but it wasn't. The Tempest, I think, saved him a little bit. They were instantly taken out by the interceptors, but they were taken out. A little bit delayed reaction on Handuk's contaminate, but he also has to contend with interceptors and regular farm ships as a threat, because they can't rely on their mothership anymore to protect them if they get close to back to base and being attacked by interceptors by Barcode. Let's see. We have kind of a lull in the action, so I'll show you what I was talking about. Red team didn't lose any of their towers, so their Devastator missiles are still activated, doing 250 at range 20, and their laser beam doing 100 at 20. So equal opposite over here. Repulsor cannon disabled, but the purifier beam is only doing 20 at 8 range. So if the red team were to dive, well, they'd have to contend with the towers, and then they'd also have to contend with getting the laser beam in the face at range 20, shooting 0.1, so it's extremely quick. The Gatling cannon, which is upgraded, does 0.2, and it's basically doing 100 about as fast as this is doing 32 damage. And at this point, the interceptors have really had a lot of time to get big, get good. After 33 upgrades, it's just prohibitively expensive to get interceptors. So they kind of do tap out, but they tap out doing 82 damage. He has 35. He could keep on upgrading them. It's just depending on how much money he wants to spend to do so. So maybe about 86. Wow. Doing 86 damage each. So people who don't have armor, like Barcode, people who don't have armor, like the frigate, are extremely vulnerable. Now, they're not bad. Neither of their ships. Oh, the Phantom blocked again. He got Phantom blocked. And congratulations, you've got nothing. Rofalos, being super proud of his 15 Gatling gun, and actually, I mean, that's a fantastic thing. Like, if he catches any of these people a little bit out of position, he'll just chainsaw them. He'll just, he'll just chainsaw his way through them, doing 85 at 0.2, but he has to actually catch them first. Now he knows that that's just a Phantom, but his guns don't, and he has to be pushed back. At this point, yeah. The Tempest might be the best choice. Keep them in their base and try to just kill the base instead of killing the other ships. FOD, that's actually the real FOD, getting shot a little bit. If Rofalos wasn't in the vortex, he would have really enjoyed running him over. Rofalos, use is out of energy, so he only has the 36 base armor that he has. He can't use his protective field to give him an extra 50. So he is also susceptible to taking damage. He could try to upgrade his armor a little bit more, but it is, you know, at 7. It's not like it is unupgraded. And again, he has 7 armor because he's a tank. They have 0 armor because their base stats are low. They're designed for everything but taking damage. So, Shadow Shark is sitting there wanting to just use his ion cannon. Get away from me, Handuke. Boom. Pushing him back to base, as they are. They do have the financial advantage, but they no longer have ship advantage. And they're, and although they can do a lot of damage, they have to contend with doing damage to things that aren't their enemy. They you know, shooting phantoms instead of actually shooting the other ships, extending their life that way. So the red side does have to go back. As much damage as the interceptors are doing, it's actually relatively unlikely that that either the frigate or the carrier will really spec into getting some armor. The carrier has 3 upgrades to his shields, right? Because Protoss ships get the additional advantage of armor on the shields that they upgrade. When you upgrade shields at all, they do what's it called? They give you 500 extra life, right? 7,500. But with the Protoss ones, you also get a little bit of armor on your shields. The frigate has a lot more shields. He went for 11 upgrades, so he has so much health. Look at that! Whoa! Probably started. I think it's 6,000, something like that. And he went all the way up to 10,500, which is probably how you say 10,500, more or less, right? And the thought process is, if he gets plagued, and he was, it disregards how much armor you have. It just does damage over time. So having a lot of shields, although it doesn't have the benefit of additional armor plating, it just adds a lot of extra life. And most of the people just and having the extra life gives his lasers, which are upgraded 12. That's actually really good. Enough time to shoot, but it's just at this point the interceptors have had so much time to develop and given so much money into them, like easily over $2,000 into interceptor upgrades and upgrades for the interceptors, that lasers are good, but they're a little bit outclassed. The battlecruiser has an ability to shoot the area of effect. The frigate doesn't. So he's just relying on his range 10, good, and his regular lasers. Rofilos actually has to do that as well. He doesn't have any. He has a bombardment, but that's like you have to really get close to using bombardment. Whoa, that was a vortex on his own ship. Vortex his own guy? Let's see. Vortex nuke. Swing and a miss! Ah! Swing and a miss from Shadow Shark. The vortex is on a timer. The red beam of death is on a timer, and he just mistimed. If he had gotten it, he would have easily taken out the Overlord. It has 10,000 life, and it would have had 10,000 minus 6,000, 4,000 life. He probably would have been taken out. The Rofilos is kind of overextending because he really wants to kill somebody. He wants to kill somebody so bad. But he just... We actually can't even see the action because it's underneath. Underneath that. Okay, who pops out? Rofilos pops out with taking damage. Now, he has 36 base stats. Oh, he used... Okay, so he actually just technically died there. He used his emergency shield. There's an ability that, like, when you get down to 1 health, or like pretty low, it activates the emergency shield, and I think that's the little blue guy that popped up, because he does have protective field as well, and he's using his repair bots to get out of there. He really wanted to kill somebody, but the healing from the mothership probably saved it. Yeah, the Vortex Torpedo is a fantastic ability. It just is a very time-sensitive ability. Everything's on a timer. Very easy to swing and miss. Nuke you can also try to do, but you can't shoot a nuke into a vortex. You have to shoot a nuke at the target, and the target's not targetable. Untargetable. That's what it is. Yeah, but I say, can you vortex them? Did my eyes deceive me? No, he doesn't have vortex, so it was the betrayal vortex. Sometimes you get, sometimes it wasn't. It might not have been intentional. It could have, or it could have been intentional because he was trying to save them from taking a lot of damage otherwise. Sometimes using the vortex takes them out of commission, but it also lets your team regroup. So instead of dying, you just bring your rest of your friends to the party and hope that you can save them from there. Everybody moving back together. We got the red team really staying together. They really love each other. While the blue side is being cautious. Now, usually where you want to be over here, Shadow Shark, there's no time for peeing. You have to just, you know, find a pickle jar somewhere. This is game time. Brought to you by pickles. It's not, and I hope, but it could be. Let's see. But the blue side isn't going all the way back to the red base because they don't have very much sustained damage. They don't have very much health. Look at that. He upgraded his health quite a bunch, and you know, he has 16 armor, which is actually quite a lot for an overlord. But you know, 16,000 life versus 18,000 life, or that math, 2380. 800. But and that's why they're not farming in the optimal location, because they can't. They can probably start taking damage about half midway field, but they can't go all the way across the base unless they want to risk doing a lot. Unless they want to risk dying. And there's only one life in this game. That's why no people who have died yet have respawned, and if they're waiting to respawn, they can't. But you can still stay in the game. And it's a 16 versus 16, so if you lose, you lose points. If you drop out, if you stay and your team wins, hey, you might get some points. Plus, it might help if somebody, what's it called? If the Arbiter, now does he have it? Okay, so he doesn't have it. The Arbiter has an ability called Observer, which gives you a cute little observer, and if you fly around, you can give that control to your friend who's dead, and your friend who's dead can be your observer. Because the observer itself, it follows you, it independently moves, independently changes position, and it's kind of tricky to get. You have to like get it, tell it to follow you, set it on like another you know, like point, so it's like hotkey to like 2, and then you have to press like D to detect and escape, which pressing the escape button feels wrong, but either way, it's easier when you have somebody else do it for you. You know what I mean? He doesn't have it, but it might be a somewhat smart idea to get. It does help at least know where your friends are. And there's just so many phantoms. There's so many Hadouks, but the real one is back there, and you can tell that it was a real one because it plagued you. The phantoms just kind of float around and absorb damage and look scary, but can't actually do it. So if they're actually attacking you, they're the real deal. So Big Long Ding does have interceptors as well. My goodness. 43 interceptors. That's so much money into interceptors. I want to die. But they're doing 98 damage. 98 damage, and he's taking every bit of the 98 damage. So the frigate is really just having to stay with his buddies for protection. And let's see. And they basically, a good rule of thumb is that they have half the armor than their upgrade. So 43 upgrades gives you 25.1 armor. Because you can click on interceptors, but like in the course of the game, it's kind of hard to do so. So if you look at them and then just like divide that in half. So what that means though is he does 38 damage with his lasers. Good, because that's over. What did I call it? 20.5. That's over 20 damage. So he's doing 28. So he's doing exactly 8 damage to Big Long Ding's interceptors, and the carrier does 2 because he has 22 lasers, or 22 damage with his lasers, and that's actually quite a lot for upgrades. It's just kind of showing that after a certain point, interceptors just really really take over. Hey, oh, there's a nuke. It's a swing and a hit. He hits it. He hits Big Long Ding in the base. They can't quite follow through to kill him, but it does keep him, in base. So the mothership can heal health, but shields are kind of just on your own. It's one of the weird advantages of let's say of health heavy ships versus the shield heavy ones is that. Yeah, shields are probably more helpful in general because they heal up faster in field, but at base, they don't. They're just whatever they do that. Let's see. Shadow Shark, Ion Cannon also upgraded, probably to its max. So, Ion Cannon is a guaranteed hit. You can upgrade it 3 times. I think he did that. It costs what? I think it's 175 to get it, plus 50 to upgrade it once, 100 to upgrade it twice, 150, and then it might have a 200 ability. But either way, it just does extra damage. It does a fantastic amount of damage to shield as well. It does 2400 base plus 2100 versus shield. So it basically can pop the Arbiter like a little balloon. Let's see. We got the the army of Handukes moving forward. We got FOD. So he has so many fancy abilities. He has feedback. He has Phantoms. He has Cloaking Field, which I'm not sure we've seen. I'm not sure if we've seen Cloaking Field. Oh, they're gonna go for a Warp Trick. Now they kind of have to go for a Warp Trick because Rofalos does a lot of damage. He does Gatling Cannon. Oh man, he's so excited to see that he can kill a Phantom. The Phantom, I think, was there to spot incoming warp tricks. That was just poor luck by Rofalos. If he was on the other side, there might not be a Phantom there. And plus, as we were talking about, the entire blue side doesn't like going past like midfield. So they were not going to get caught off guard. Now, if they were at the base and he came around and reached around and grabbed them, oh man, he'd be out. Like, 88 times 0.19, he's just, like, he could run through every one of them, but he has to be at 8 range to do so. Yeah, I think he tried to use Barrage on the Interceptors, but he missed. Because that happens. It channels you for a little bit. 200 damage will, I think, maybe kill these Interceptors. I don't know. No, it won't. Of course it won't, because Interceptors are upgraded 46 times. Hey, it's no longer 100 damage. Come on, buddy. 104. That's not even close to as cool. You have to like go and upgrade it a couple more times, so you know, it's at like 120 or something. What's your favorite number? Mine is not 104 for whatever reason. Let's see. Rofalos is trying to push back. I think he's also just, at this point, mostly trying to attack the base. Oh, there's a double vortex. People all getting into the vortex party. They're disabled, they can't move, and momentum's so important. Let's see. I'm not sure exactly how fast they're going, but you know how fast they're going right now? 0. 1.71, but he has to actually get there to get back. Interceptors hurting the carrier. The carrier does not have any. Oh, Ruffalo's, come on, make it out. He's burning. He uses his ability. Whoa! Swing and a miss because Handuk used the psionic shockwave ability. Oh, Handuk has almost able to be taken out by the missiles and the ion cannon. And if his fusion torpedo had hit, it would have also taken him out. But he used the Overlord's psionic shockwave, like, whoa ability to just push everything back. It just pushes everything away in an area. Friend or foe does 1,000 damage to them. The most fun thing to do is try to like use that ability to push them into like your own base, but that's it doesn't happen very often. I've died many times trying to do that and trying to be cool, but you know, every time I try to be cool, you know what I mean? We have the thing where it doesn't happen. You see, I like this. Look at this. This is lovely. He has 1.92 speed, but he has 16 shields, 16 lasers, and 16 missiles. See, symmetry is important. The feng shui of Shadow Shark is there. Unfortunately, the lasers are just like the best he can do, but the best he can do is not good enough. You know what I mean? Because they're doing 40, right? That's awesome. Let's see. We just did math to figure this out. He has 46, so he has about 23 armor on his interceptors. So the 40 damage in the lasers is doing the most, and it is actually hurting the interceptors. They just also happen to have 132 plus 132 life. Yeah, at this point, they might have to tech switch something really crazy. Siege, and they do. So Siege is, I'm going to call it the ultimate ability, again, even though I think it's just the most expensive ability. It's Siege mode. Deploys into Siege mode. In this mode, Dreadnought has a very long range and inflicts area damage. Dreadnought in this mode cannot attack targets at close range, moves very slowly, and has reduced armor. The last two parts of that are an understatement. You're basically static. You basically can't move. And it reduces your armor to like 2. From 44, you do 2. So the thing that keeps you alive is protective field. So luckily he does have enough energy that 775, which is fantastic, that he can utilize his protective field, which only costs 50 energy, multiple times. Now, good boy, Ralphalos, who somehow I'm forgetting how to say it after like 45 minutes of talking to him. He's going along the side. He wants to be here with his attack. Whoa, swing and a miss. Oh, he hits FOD, but it's not the real FOD. There we go. Siege. You can get there, and he is well within the attack range. They can't come around this side too easily without being seen. Handuk being attacked. He is doing. Let me see this. Oh no! The interceptors by Big Long Ding took out the carrier. Carrier, no. See, he doesn't have any armor, so he can't really protect himself except for using the interceptors. And look at this, 104 interceptors, interceptor damage, reducing his armor. He actually is. I think he might still be in siege mode. I'm actually going to see about this if it stays there. Shadow Shark, you are a missile boat, but you can't take damage. That's this guy's job, but he's in the thing. Fly into the vortex for safety. Oh no, he was taken out by Big Long Ding as well. So he stays in there, and you see he has 44 minus 33. So he's sitting there, and the idea was to kill these. Just the base. Yeah. Oh, FOD was taken out. He does exact some revenge. Handuk is staying really close to Rofalos because he he tried to push him into his base, which is super cute. It's just that the base is so wimpy at this point because it's been attacked that it didn't work. And Big Long Ding takes out another one. Rofalos gets taken out. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I know it was a little bit long. This is Maffuman. We're going to be press like, press subscribe. We're doing StarCraft Star Battles all the time.